Leetcode 98, validate binary search tree. It's a medium type problem, but when it comes to trees and graph theory, I would say it's more of an entry-level problem and something that you definitely want to try and study in depth, because everything that you need in order to solve this type of problem will also be needed for more advanced problems as well. So here is the description. Given the root of a binary tree, determine if it is a valid binary search tree. Yeah, so there are different types of trees, and binary search tree is a specific tree, and trees are generally those hierarchical structures where you have in a graphical representation those circles or squares with some data stored, and the flow goes from top to bottom. Yeah, so in graphs it can go in any direction, and trees are just like very specific types of graphs where we go from top to bottom. And on top of that, binary search trees have additional constraints, and we'll read this in a second. But just before that, let's think about the truth, which is our only input. And as you can see in Python on the right side, it's an optional of a tree node. And a tree node is defined above. That's that class, which has following just the init method, actually nothing more, which stores the following values or the following fields: value, which is the data, or the label, which the node stores, and then there are the connections to left and right, yeah, which could be left empty. And by default, as you can see, they are set to none. And for example, when we reach the end, the leaves of the binary tree or any tree, there are no more children left, and then in such an object you will have here both nuns. Yeah, and now maybe one more thing before we go back here. We just have those objects, yeah, and we go through the tree by trying to access those left and right pointers, which store objects of that class or maybe nuns. And we have to go through the tree by going to those fields, and there is no tree structure on its own. And so we only operate on the nodes. And here are the constraints for the valid BST or binary search tree. The left subtree of a node contains only nodes with keys strictly less than the node key. The right subtree of a node contains only nodes with keys strictly greater than the node's key. Both the left and right subtree must also be a binary search tree. Okay, so this is a very complicated way of saying that if we have following setup, yeah, where this is right, this is left, and that's the parent, left and right, and like this. And first of all, it's a binary tree, so it can have at most 2 children. And then because if it's a binary search tree, it satisfies this condition. L less than, not less than or equal, P R. That's it. And that's something that we'll have to check in the code. And here's an example. Here, of course, the first example is true. It is a binary search tree because we have that condition satisfied. Yeah. So 1 is less than 2 and 2 is less than 3. And the second is false because the node's value is 5 and its right children value is 4. Yeah, so already here in the first stage, we have the following condition violated. Yeah, so 5 is not less than 4. And that's it. So now let's try to figure out the way in which we can validate the binary search tree, and we can validate it by, of course, accessing each element, since all the elements have to satisfy the condition. And we can do it using, for example, DFS, search algorithm, very popular. And in this case, we'll use BFS, but there are other ways in which we can traverse, meaning access each element at least once. And for example, here, in order traversal using a loop and a stack data structure might be a bit more efficient than DFS, which is recursive. Yeah, but I would prefer DFS because it's so useful and it's used all the times in all kinds of problems. And so definitely if you're starting and you're already reached medium type problems and you're starting with graph theory, you have to master DFS and understand it very deeply. That's why we'll do the DFS. And DFS is a depth first search. We will of course implement it, so you will see it firsthand how it works. But just at the very beginning, I can say that it works, of course, by going as deep as possible and then backtracking. Yeah, so we start at the root, then we try to go as deep as possible on we have only two choices for our binary search trees, at most two choices, and we'll first choose one path, go as deep as possible at this path, and then we'll backtrack one level again and try to go as deep as possible, again backtrack, and so on, up until either we have violated the condition, so we have found that the binary search tree, the given tree is not a binary search tree, then we can return false, or we go through each element and at the end return true because it is a valid binary search tree. And for each element, let me just create a better example. So let's say 4, here 7, and here 9. Yeah, here 2, and here 6. Like this, our DFS will accept node, the node that we are trying to check, and then the lower bound and the higher bound. Yeah, that will be the general strategy. At the very beginning, we'll start with the root. The first one that we'll try to check. Let's maybe change the color to not confuse you, it's not part of the tree. Will be BFS of root, or maybe of 5, and our first lower boundary will be -infinity, and higher boundary will be +infinity. And each time we check this, is 5 between -5 and -infinity? Is it between -infinity and infinity? Could it be the case? Of course it is. So that's correct. We can proceed further. And the next thing that we try to check will be 4. But now we update one of the boundaries. We go to the left child, so we update the right boundary with the previous value. And now is 4 between -infinity and 5? Yes, it is. And the next one is 2. Is 2 between -infinity and 4? Yes, it is. Then we backtrack here and we go here. Is 6 between 5 and 4. Yeah. And this time it is not 6, 4 like this, and 5 here. And of course, right now it is an invalid tree. And we can return failure, and that's it. Okay, so now let's try to convert it to Python. And we'll create our DFS, which will accept the node, the lower boundary and the higher boundary, or the upper boundary. Sorry, not high one, just high. And we'll import math, or maybe from math we'll import infinity. And if the node is none, then it's okay. We don't have to check anything. We have reached the end of the tree. And now the condition for failure is if not low node value, is it value? No, wow. High. Yeah, if it's doesn't satisfy this condition, then we return false, and sorry, here return true. This will be Boolean as well. And otherwise we call it for both left and right child, so node left. And if we call the left child, then we update the high boundary with our value. And if we call the right child, then we update the low boundary and keep the high the same it was before. That's it. That's the whole philosophy. And now let's call starting from the root and minus infinity and plus infinity. Let's run. First two cases are okay. Now let's check on all the cases. And we beat 100% of other competitors. But we use a lot of memory because of all this recursion. And so probably if you use stack and iterative approach using in-order traversal, which you can do on your own for training, I would advise at least, then maybe you will get less memory consumption here.